here. So here on the Rule and Ryan Show, we've opened your eyes to a lot of things. You know, we like to be fun and be funny and have good times, but we also want to be serious when time comes for that and open your eyes to something maybe you've seen, but you haven't really paid attention to.
Sometimes people don't follow the news.
Or
they tune out.
Our news doesn't really cover this.
No, not really.
But when you're on social media and you consume on social media, if you're going through reels or whatever it is, maybe you just skip over any kind of newsy stories. This is one that is something else. That's why we're putting a spotlight on it. First, I want to welcome our guest, Shahrzad Yekta. She is an Iranian-American mental health clinician and advocate. Hi, welcome to the show, Shahrzad.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Welcome
morning.
Thank you so much for having me today.
I want to right away introduce you because I want you to tell our audience the story of this global movement over the death of Mahsa Jina Amini. Or is it Amini?
Amini.
And why she was killed and what is happening. Like, what is the story of this girl and why is the world rising up because of her death on September the 16th?
You know, Rula, we've had, I think the word unprecedented has been used a lot within the past 2 years.
Right.
And this is one of those movements that is unprecedented with the protests, and the revolution really that's happening. So Mahsa Jina Amini was a 22-year-old Kurdish Iranian girl who was just going about her day, and she was detained by the so-called morality police of Iran.
Morality of police. Now, can you explain what are the morality police?
So the morality police are basically in the public, and they go around telling women that they are wearing the wrong thing. And at some point in my life, back when I was 21, I was actually taken by the morality police as well.
Really?
And I remember at the time before I came out of the house, I was very aware of what I was wearing because I did not want to be taken by them.
You had to be covered up.
I was in all black, all covered up, but as soon as I stepped out of this shopping mall, I was taken away. So, the question...
The cover up, too, it's not like a burqa.
Well, explain what's what, because you need to explain the different items.
So what's required of you to wear is for you to cover up your hair, but it's not like Eric said, a burqa. It's just the headscarf around your hair. Your hair can be showing. Oftentimes it shows for a lot of people. Some people choose to cover it up all the way. And then you're also supposed to be wearing loose covered clothing.
No shorts.
No shorts for men or women. No legs, no arms. Now, you might see some pictures of people who are not dressed in this way, but that is what is required.
Okay.
And so if the morality police catches you and you're against one of these rules, then they can take you.
And take you where?
So they take you to this police station that's actually only for these people who are taken by the morality police. And basically... you are made to sign. From what I remember they made me do was they take your picture, they make you sign like a little agreement that you won't do this again. So,
like a warning.
Which, by the way,
yes,
what was your infraction? I mean, what were the grounds for them to detain you?
I think at the time my cover, not the headscarf, but what I was wearing was missing a button on the bottom, so my legs, I was wearing pants, but it was showing. I don't remember. Now, I think one thing to remember is that not everyone's experience is not the same. So just because I was taken a picture and then let go, doesn't mean that this happens to everyone. As we're seeing now, what happened with Mahsa Jina Amini is tragic. And what happened to her, actually this morning I read that, there is finally some confirmation coming out because there was speculation. I mean, people who know the history of oppression in Iran didn't doubt that she was killed. But there were some people. And then now there seems like there was reports of it coming out that she actually did die due to head injury.
So they beat her to death.
Exactly.
And what was
because
her infraction?
Hair was showing, or what was not okay with her clothing?
I'm not sure. From the pictures and videos that we have seen, she was covered very very modestly.
They say just a little bit of hair. Remember, this can be the morality police. Could be that guy. Could think it's different compared to this other.
So they're essentially judge, jury, and executioner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is, we can't look for a reason of why. I think some people said maybe due to her hijab, her headscarf, and some people said maybe her her pants were too tight, which is also another thing. And actually, within the past few years, they came out with laws that would fine you. For example, if you weren't wearing your headscarf within your car, you could be fined, and cameras caught you without it, you could be fined. So this whole thing is just tragic, and it has led to this movement, which is now what we're, trying to get the world to pay attention to, because one thing that's happened is protests have started. And one of the tactics of oppression in Iran is that the internet connection goes out immediately, so the information doesn't get out.
Shut it down.
They shut it down, which is why I'm here today, to be a voice for them, because I know a lot of them can't get connected. So I'm here to talk about it and give a voice to her.
If you're just tuning into the Rule and Ryan Show and 104.1 KRB, we have a special guest in the studio. It's Shahrzad Yekta. She is an Iranian-American mental health clinician and advocate, and she is here to talk about Mahsa Jina Amini, who was murdered, basically, for nobody really knows exactly what. It was just morality police beat her to death because maybe some hair was coming out of the
if it can happen to her, it can happen to anyone.
But if you see the photos of the protests, you see all these women. They're so strong,
and they've been cutting their hair.
They're taking off. They're just. There's two women that were eating breakfast. My wife showed me yesterday. It looks like something you'd see here, but to see just two women in just regular clothes outside eating, and that's something that's never been done in 40 years there, because they would obviously.
Did they get arrested?
Away. No.
It was in protest.
Because now there's so many people protesting right now. You got the men are finally following the women's lead. The women are being the strong ones here.
Shahrzad, let me ask you this question. What is it about Mahsa Jina's murder that has started this? Because haven't other women already been killed in this manner, and for some reason it didn't resonate the way this has?
Rula, in a lot of ways, this is 43 years of grief. This is 43 years of loss and oppression. And if you remember, George Floyd was kind of the catalyst for the movements of the BLM movement here, and this was the final straw. I mean, they've been especially under a lot of stress over the past few years. They've always been, but this is like built up anger.
So it was just like the last straw. Like, we cannot take this.
We cannot take it anymore.
No, and what can people do locally, like here in Houston? Is there going to be a vigil coming up?
Yes, actually this Saturday, October 1st, is a global day of action to raise awareness about this issue. And we are going to have a protest here in Houston at City Hall from 6 p.m. to 8. And we encourage everybody, anybody who is fighting for freedom, because the fight of Iranian women and Iranian people is really a fight for freedom. Their chant is woman, life, freedom. I mean, that by itself, Rula, is something that's never been heard before within that region. I mean, 100%. Think about it. Woman, life, freedom. And it encompasses everything you need to know about this movement. So we encourage everyone, Iranian or not, to participate and show their solidarity, because at this point, the best thing you can do is just to be their voice, because their voice is being cut off.
This could be the chance to overthrow the government.
It is.
2008 has almost happened.
This oppression is it comes down from the ruler, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what they want. They don't trust that change is going to happen. They just want the system gone.
When my wife lived there, she was saying how when they first came in, the Ayatollah, oh no, women, it's going to be just like it is now.
So it was a bait and switch.
And then
before the Ayatollah, it was freedom like that.
That's
like
what my wife,
be out without being covered up.
Because my wife and my father-in-law, he had his two daughters and his wife. He's like, we can't live here. He had a great job. He's like, I have to take my family out of here. They can't live in this environment anymore. And they went to Paris. Well, he went to Saudi Arabia to work, and he's like, I can't go there either. That's not good for women. So then they went to Paris, and they got to America finally. That's why he always says, America is the greatest country. I know we can all bitch about things we have, left side, right side, all that stuff, but you can make something of yourself here.
Yeah. And from nothing.
Yeah. It's a great country. That's why it's just so heartbreaking to see all these.
I'm glad that people are. I mean, first of all, is there any social media we should be following right now?
Right. Yeah. Is there somewhere we can send our audience to look more into this or find out more information of what can you do or how can you make your voice heard outside of the October 1st protest, which is great, 6 to 8 p.m., but maybe some people want to find more information of the cause.
There is a lot of them. I would be happy to actually answer questions for anybody if they want to come to my social media and ask questions
Your
from me.
social media is very good. I mean, you have some great videos posted on yours.
I try.
Why don't you give out that real quick?
Sure. So my handle is @TheRealTherapist, and there's a dot in between each word. So The Real Therapist with a dot in between each word. And if you allow me, I just want to quickly, if it's okay, read a few of the reasons why people are sharing, why they're protesting, and why they're out, because I think that's the real touching point that people have been sharing this. For the thousands of innocent dogs who thought you were there to feed them, but you killed them instead. For the morning we found out you shot down a passenger plane with 176 innocent people inside and killed them all. For all the children of immigrants born abroad who never got to experience the warmth of a grandparent's hug and grew up with no family. And for thousands of activists and people like myself who have spoken up against this oppression and are now either sitting in jail or, if nothing changes this time, will not be able to go back in fear of being prosecuted.
Such a great point. Such a great point, Shahrzad. That is so true.